Prey 5. El Karuga.
Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Esri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Enterprise Wednesday for October 18th, 2023. Wow, October 18th, 2023. We are here watching Enterprise Season 2, Episode 22, Cogenitor. This episode originally premiered April 30th, 2003. And I'll face it, it's not one of the better, highly remembered Enterprise episodes. Personally, I don't really have a problem with it, but it seems like they did this episode once or twice before. There's a third gender. In fact, it's very similar, now that I think about it, to a TNG episode where one of the male crew members becomes infatuated with a third gender of another species. And, in the TNG episode, the species was genderless, and Riker just felt like one of the members of the species was a woman, and she felt like she was a woman, but the species said no, she wasn't a woman. And here it's a third gender that Trip falls in love with, kind of. He just wants to teach her how to read and stuff. Anyway, it's similar to stuff that's been done, but they're doing a little bit differently. And yeah, so that's what we got in store for today. If anybody would like to join the panel, I put out the link. I will pin it to the top. There's also the link so you can watch today's episode if you're watching live right now in the screening room, the Birdo Prey 5 screening room. If you're not watching live, then you can catch this episode on physical media, DVD or Blu-ray, or you can stream it from Paramount Plus or any other site that streams Star Trek Enterprise in your country or legal nation of residence. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies, first in the chat, says Qapla, fat left to the left kidney. And Richie Poole says it's good we have 2 kidneys, and puts up 2 alpacas. I wish I had more than 2, Richie. Richie says, is this the one where Trip once again interferes with another's culture and ruins someone's life? Yes. 47 Yorktown says, how many kidneys do Klingons have? It's a good question, since Klingons already have redundant organs. Do they have 4? Maybe. Dan Benson, did anyone else get a message about timeouts? I don't. Not that I did not. Damn it, I'm not saying this is the worst episode, but it's not for me. John Araki says, nap left to the stream. Darmok as the eyelids grow heavy. Thank you, John Araki, for the 99-cent super poop emoji. Don't worry, the poops are still coming, thankfully. John Araki says, hashtag crow nurse. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Josh Reed says, we, the people, the bad little green men, and the trouble with tribbles. Not today. I'm about ready to fall asleep. Hakeem says, hey, Bird and chat. Qapla Hakeem. LDG says, still better than any Wesley episode. That is for sure. Miss Londell's Groovy Movies says to leave Wesley alone. And Yvette says, if anyone from the UK, the all Star Trek Netflix up to Enterprise at the moment. If anyone is from the UK, all Star Trek is on Netflix up to Enterprise at the moment. Thank you, Yvette. You're from the UK, all Star Trek through Enterprise is available on Netflix. Okay. So I'm going to head over to the screening room. I'm going to count down, and we will start today's episodes. Okay. Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have the Enterprise in a sun 100 years before it goes supernova. It'll be one hell of an explosion. Now, T'Pol might very well be around in 100 years. No Earth ship has ever been within 10 light years of a hypergiant. All is getting too hot. They can't get any closer. And Reed sees someone else is closer than they are. Put her on screen. T'Pol doesn't recognize the ship. Captain Dreddick They're from the Sol system. They never heard of it. He's Vissian. The alien that plays the Vissian captain is the same one that played Tomalak on TNG. The actor that plays the Vissian captain. Of course, meeting new species is one of their primary goals. No other alien species seems to have that. Visitors for dinner, tell chef. It's funny how quickly they're invited to dinner with no idea what they might even eat, if they eat. Who's to say that, chicken isn't poison to them? Miss Lundell, that sounds like the guy who played on Babylon 5. He did. He also played somebody on Babylon 5. Gakar, Ambassador Gakar in Babylon 5. Andreas Katsalis. Andreas Katsalis is the actor's name. Josh Street sounds Gakar, sounds like Jakar. Thank you. Jakar. Why did he assume the guy was the chief engineer? 12 years is pretty good for a vaccine. This is the same guy that got pregnant on his first away mission. Mr. Lundell says this is not a new concept to sci-fi. The species in the series Alienation used a second male that the first prepared the female, and then she mated with her husband. I remember Alienation, but I don't remember the second male. They brought her to dinner. Dan Ben says, I think Starfleet gets the tech to fly into a sun in the TNG episode with the Ferengi scientists. Yeah, that was metaphasic shielding. I don't believe it's the same tech they used in this episode, though. I don't know I have a favorite cheese, Dan Ben. Certainly American. I eat a lot of cheddar and mozzarella. Thank you, Dan Ben. We talked about that earlier. So you spelled out the name. Dan Ben says, Bird, do you like the design of the phaser rifle? I hadn't even noticed. Ms. Lundell says, Pounder. Indeed. And Dan Ben says the board game Trip and the Cogenitor play is in fact a real game, Go, which came out in China in the 4th century BC and is still popular. And Trip gets kicked out of the alien ship. He's requesting asylum. Dan Ben says this is listed as one of the 10 essential episodes of the series Enterprise. I don't know what 10 that list comes from. Dan Ben says the Vissian chief engineer previously played Enrique Muniz in a few Star Trek Deep Space Nine episodes. I'll assume one of those is The Ship, which LDG had quite enjoyed. All's well that ends well. Let's end the episode here. No serious problems. All's good. Dan Ben says this is an episode I skip in rewatches, but it's got Porthos. This episode just became 20 times better. Oh no. The Vissian captain is calling. Who's still watching at this point? The Cogenitor died. Suicide. Because of you, Chip. Let this be your lesson. Never help anyone, because you might help someone who then kills themselves. And that is the opposite of a happy ending. It's almost funny. To be honest, it's funny that Enterprise had any viewers left at this point at the end of the second season. They're going to end an episode like that. It's tough. It's a hard one. I understand why people skip it. Yvette says, thank you, Bird. No, Yvette, thank you. Dan Ben says, that is a possibility. When the new cultures meet, they could be open to new ideas and stuff. Miss Londell says, so now Trip is on the captain's shit list. But for how long? Only until next week. And Antidote Jill says, damn fine episode. Very cool. Glad somebody thinks so. Yvette says, you can see why Prime Directive is always needed. And a $2 super sticker from Admiral Teague, the super payer. Thank you, Admiral Teague. And Dan Ben says, it says the day the Earth stood still in the end credits. Yeah, there it does. Says it right there. The day the Earth stood still, courtesy of 20th Century Fox. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I know I didn't do a whole lot of talking. It's one of those days. But we'll hopefully be back for Bed Life on Friday, and we'll see you guys whenever. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll call it a day. Qapla All, Bird out.